welcome to an episode of Around the Tabletop with Blue Hand Gamers. This week we have a full man crew. We have Brion.
Yo.
We have Cymrych.
Hey, everyone.
And we have Colron. And me, your host, Katfish. And this week we're going to talk about Fallout. We played Fallout, the board game, which is a post-nuclear apocalypse style board game that's 1 to 4 players based off of the video game by Bethesda. And it is started out with survivors on the edge of a map, and you explore your way through the map and try to balance the fighting of creatures, exploration, quests, and the battling of factions. Fallout has a board game geek weight of 2.98 out of 5, and it is ranked 1,055 on their ranking. It is a 120 to 180 minute long game, as by the game it says, and it also states that it is best played as a 1-player game. So
Really?
For those of you looking for a solo game, this could be a good option for you. All right, so let's jump into this here. Colron, I'm going to start off with you. How would you compare the board games to the video game?
I mean, it's a pretty good conversion to a board game, but I think it's really hard to ask it to be everything that the video game is. That video game is gold star for video games in my book. Second maybe to Skyrim. But as far as attempting to get that feel for it and everything in a board game, I think it does a pretty good job.
I agree, it does do a pretty good job. I think it follows the video game pretty well. Brion?
Well, I've never played the video game, but from what I've seen of it, that does. I mean, it's got the post-apocalyptic feel, right? Like with especially with the nuclear or atomic enemies kind of thing from the fallout of the. I don't know the specific enemies like from the. I assume the ones in the board game are the same ones from the video game, but I don't know for sure. Might have to go play the game now, though.
Just might.
It's okay.
I would recommend it.
We still like you.
Now, I know Cymrych has never played this game ever. Cymrych, what do you think?
Yeah, I have definitely not logged hundreds of hours into most of the video games. And yeah, I started mainstream gaming Fallout 3, and after I fell in love with the Fallout series after that, I went back and played some of the other games and some of the spin-offs such as Brotherhood of Steel. I never had a chance to play the very first Fallout game. It was PC only many years ago, and it's, well, before Steam, it was very hard to find. Then again, I haven't checked it on Steam. But anyway, the conversion from video game to board game is, in my personal opinion, phenomenal. I love the fact that they have the factions, the similar characters and the monsters, the enemies. I love the fact that you have a card-based quest system, and based on the quest you have available, you have different options. just like the video game. You have many different options for completing quests. Ultimately, if you wanted to, you can just go out into the waste and kill things. But overall, I give it an A+ in terms of conversion into a board game.
Yeah, I think the way that they did the questing was really good as well. They mimicked that very well, and the way that they gave you options. If you did one thing, you got a different path. If you did another thing, you got a different path. And some of them even have 3 different paths, it seemed like. So that was pretty nice. So that's really nice that they were able to pull that off in this board game.
Somebody needs to share some of the quests with us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, let's start with Brian first on this next question. What is your favorite feature of Fallout so far?
Geez, I think the way you explore, although my character does it quite slowly, the way you get around the map that you build as you play, I really like that. It's kind of cool. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to for most board games that I play.
Yeah, it's kind of neat the way that the map unravels as you explore the map. And I do like the way that the map has the green and red markers to indicate the kind of more or less hazardous side and the more aggressive side. And we've yet to get into that red side, so it's going to be kind of neat to see what's over there and in store for us.
Yeah.
Cymrych?
I would say my favorite aspect of the Fallout board game so far is, I don't know, the fact that they stayed true to the special stats, the SPE, CIAL, and how all of the stats are utilized for different aspects of the game, such as weapons, companions, armors, skill tests. And then we haven't really delved into it in this game, but I've seen it before where you have side quests and the encounter cards that are more based on what stats you have. So based on how you grow your special stats, it can really change your game. I like that the most, I think.
Yeah, I enjoy that as well. It was kind of neat that they were able to kind of keep true to that, and that the special stats also help with your rolling. And there was some of the cards that kind of affected that, where you get re-rolls based off of your SPECIARL. So that helps you out in terms of trying to defeat enemies or meeting certain objectives, which is pretty nice. Colron, what do you think?
I'm gonna choose C, all of the above. I'm always a big fan of getting the gear and stuff. So I like that it has the Ripper and all the pipe guns, and again, it stayed true to the game. So I'm a big loot hog.
A looter and shooter?
Yeah.
Best ability ever. You ever can pull it off, be a looter and shooter.
Wow. Are we bringing in old Gloomhaven references now?
Yeah, I am.
Move and loot.
All right. So,
Everybody
Cymrych, I'm going
wa-
to start with you on this one. Was there anything that you didn't like about Fallout so far?
Well, you know me. I tend to be more of the strategy style, chess style, think ahead. And when I'm playing a game like this that requires a little sit down and think, I have to wait to see what everyone else is doing. My only real complaint is it could be a little bit before it's your turn again. As I'm planning what I want to do, where I want to go, trying to complete this quest before Brian takes it over entirely.
Hey now.
This game will leave you waiting. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not the worst I've ever seen. But if multiple players start delving into encounters, the time can stack up on you. So I would actually agree that Board Game Geek says preferred number of players is one. I have played this game with one player, and frankly, it's fantastic. I enjoy playing with others, but the time waiting would be my biggest complaint. And even then, it doesn't hurt my love for this game at all.
And I agree with you. That was about my biggest complaint too, because I generally do not enjoy waiting for long periods of time, and having to read all those quest cards kind of took a little while to get to the next person. So that was probably about my biggest complaint. Colron, what do you think?
Everybody took my answers. I don't know. That's about it. Personally, I still have fun even waiting for people to take their turns, because that way it helps me stay in the game and not, mentally wander off. But yeah, that's about the only thing I could think of that really takes away from it.
Brian?
Well, I'm going to be quite different here. That doesn't bother me too much. I think I don't know what it is about the dice. Like, I don't hate the dice. I feel like I wish I had like maybe a couple more, because like, boy, do I, as much as it's gonna sound weird, I suck at rolling dice, or dice hate me, depending on how you want to look at that. Maybe it's just bad luck then, because I feel like the hits, you don't see enough of them when you're trying to like succeed at a roll. It makes me feel like I wish I had another die or two, or had a way to get more than just the 3 dice that you use. The weight doesn't really bother me. That gives you kind of more time to think as you go, which, how you said that, like, you like doing that in other games. I think I could still plan my strategy. And then I don't know. I've enjoyed it though so far, even with the dice not liking me too much.
I generally fight with dice myself, and I was kind of thinking the same thing you were. I don't think that the dice outweigh my dislike for waiting. And I think that's just a personal thing for me, but I do tend to have crap luck with dice, unlike Colron, who I don't think has missed any of his dice rolls yet.
Hey, I may not miss my hits, but I've been getting hit hard back. So
yeah, that's the nice thing about being beefy with my armor. I can take the hits that come back at me. It's more the like failing. Like, I had to use drugs just to pass some of my tests.
Hey, but you became a rock star.
Yeah. I had to dope just to get past my tests.
All right. So on the next part here, we have yet to dive into the red territory on the map that we don't know what's going on over there. How do you imagine a interaction with a deathclaw is going to be? Colron, let's start with you.
It would go something like rar / eek and dead.
Pretty accurate. I like it. Cymrych?
As the only person that actually remembers parts of this game, I know what it's like to fight a deathclaw in this game, and it's not fun. I remember when I first bought the game, I had found as the wastelander, as the vault dweller, I had my beginning armor, and then I had purchased the combat armor, because with the vault armor, you get an additional armor piece that you can buy and use. So I had a grand total of 3 hits I can negate. I felt confident going in with 8 health. I can knock out 3. And how often do you see more than 4 successful hits in a roll? Yeah, I rolled 5. Almost killed me. I did not beat him. And at the end of the round, I activated the enemies. It happened to roll death claws, and he ate my face. like all of it. Yeah, the deathclaws in this game are very scary.
It'd be kind of fun if they had a little bit more movement than everyone else, just because they're that much of beasts. Trying to run away from one would be nasty.
You don't need to make them any more powerful than they are.
Brian, I know you haven't played it yet and may not know what a deathclaw is, but
Did a quick Google search. They look pretty gruesome. Yeah, definitely look like they're going to be a difficult fight. I'm guessing they probably don't have armor by the, couple pictures I saw. They just kind of look like kind of lizardy demon.
Think of a small
Kinda thing.
Godzilla.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like. It was like lizardy demon thing with your traditional like ram horns kind of looking thing on there. It certainly don't look fun to fight. Especially I don't have a weapon, so I'm definitely not looking forward to fighting them.
all right. Number 5. How do you like the interaction with the map? And I'm going to start with the man who has interacted with the map quite a bit, but seems to be held back just a little bit.
I have a feeling that's me. I think I really like it. Like I like the kind of reminds me of Betrayal at House on the Hill, where you kind of build the map. I mean, the map's already laid out, but it's like you get to see what, or you get to explore what's coming up. Like Settlers of Catan, where you know the map and you know how to be strategic to begin with. I like not necessarily randomness, but the having to adapt to what you end up flipping over. It's very cool. Very difficult to traverse.
It is very cool, and I like the way that they have the radiation spots on it. I like the way that they have the
I bet
red
you would
zones
like
on
that. Would like the radiation spots, huh?
it. Coming from the ghoul who heals in the radiation spots.
Exactly. Uh-huh. I don't really like the red or the green. The red's impossible to get through, and the green does damage.
When you can only move one space and you got to use 2 to get into a red spot.
Exactly. Yeah. So I take the long way around. Scenic route.
Well, Colron, what do you think?
Well, I haven't really done a whole lot of moving around yet. I've been leveling. I plan to move around some more, but I'm a big fan of the way the map is set up. Exploring would be cool. Everything's explored around me now, so I kind of know where I'm headed. So
right, you weren't too far from the vault, though.
No,
I don't believe.
I am pretty cool. I am pretty close, but I actually realized earlier this week that I've been kind of playing co-op, helping Brian out and everything, but it's not really a co-op game, so I shouldn't really be helping him out. But I am who I am, I suppose. So I'm gonna continue with the deal we have set, but after that, I'm gonna go competitive, as competitive as I go, anyways.
There's only one way for me to be, and that's competitive, because I'm the only one that's Agent Shield. But we'll talk about that another episode. Cymrych?
I really enjoy the map. Everything is the same, yet your green and red sides of the map are randomized based on the scenario you're playing. Overall, I think it's a lot of fun. The fact that your raider camp can be in a different position so that the game seems new and fresh every time you play it. I like how all of the enemies are based on the tile, and like I said, the tiles can be in different places. And all of the encounters have different levels based on the building or the tile you're on. I think there's a good amount of interactivity on the map itself to keep players interested. And the randomness involved in setup also makes my heart happy. I like variety.
Replayability too.
Yes.
Does make for better replayability. Well, I kind of touched a little bit on each of your points, so I'm not going to go too much in depth on everything. I think because there's so many of us, I'm just going to go this route. If you have a closing statement that you would like to add for this video, throw up your hand and you'll go first. Attaboy.
I would like to say, as of this moment, we have 77 subscribers interested in the content we put out there. We are not professional. We are all learning as we go. Brian and Colron are also interested in trying to find a project for them to edit to give you all more content. As for this game, I really, really enjoy the franchise from, what company is that called, Katfish?
Yeah.
Oh, gonna spot me. Batista. I'm holding true.
I've always been a fan of the Bethesda company, and Fallout does not fall short on that promise of a great game. The board game is fantastic. And personally, I would love to thank all of you for watching and enjoying our content. We try to make it entertaining. And thank you for joining us for our playthrough, part 1 so far of Fallout.
Brian or Colron, same goes.
Yep. Sounds good. Ditto that.
Colron.
Now we just look at each other awkwardly for a little while.
You're welcome.
Well, I have to say, thank you guys on TikTok for jumping up on our videos that we made over Dice Forge. We jumped up pretty close to 50 followers after we did the Dice Forge videos, which was pretty awesome.
Cool.
We just put out 2 more videos this week, one being Wednesday, one being Monday, and we will have more stuff coming out in the future, but we're trying to get that ball rolling to figure out how we want to kind of roll on TikTok. Other than that, I think that's about everything that we have to cover for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. This game has a Board Game Geek weight. I didn't write it down.
But it has a weight. We can guarantee it has a weight.
It has a weight. It's right here. It's right.
Hey, look that up when you figure out how to say Bethesda too.
Wrong with Batista. All right, back into it. It has. It is also a 120 to 180 minute play. How do you say that? Damn it. I'm all kinds of fucked up today. It is
Sure,
a
3 hours.
Have been doing extra hours.
I blanked out. What was the question?
What's your favorite feature of Fallout so far?
I was listening to him and I was just like, yeah, I like that too. What? All right.